50% you spend on your needs, 30% you spend on your wants, and 20% you spend on your goals.
So actually, even avoiding scams, I think that is also part of financial literacy.
So unfortunately, a lot of youth, they may not know enough, look at how they can invest wisely.
They want to grow their money, travel, achieve their goals.
Translate their aspiration into action.
I guess it's a fun experience to go on, and we just wanna go. Okay, sign up, let's go.
G'day, welcome to another episode of Kopi with Gabriel and Friends. Today I'm here at Republic Polytechnic with my friends.
Hi, I'm Christopher. I'm a senior lecturer at Republic Poly, School of Business. Happy to be here.
So hi, I'm Shannon, a graduate of RP 2024.
And
Hi, I'm Gabriel. I'm a student in Republic Polytechnic and I'm doing the diploma in biomedical science.
very smart people over here. Smart, one thing, how well are they engaged in the investment world, real world, to what extent they are familiar with financial literacy? The Cikgu here can start with perhaps.
So thank you, Uncle Song. So recently we did a Youth Future Readiness Index with CGSI International. And what we found was there is actually something very interesting in digital financial literacy, sustainability literacy, which is two critical areas in today's landscape. So some data that I can actually share some insights on. One, less than half of the youth actually display long-term financial attitudes. So what it means is they actually doesn't really set long-term financial goals, and striving to achieve this long-term financial goal is something that they may not keep a close watch on.
So it's very abstract.
Yeah. So it is important, I think, for youth these days to start planning for the tomorrow, and also maybe spare thoughts on how they can invest, how they can save. Yeah, so this is something interesting from our index findings. And a lot of youth, however, did express interest in putting money into savings or deposit, right? And a small percentage, about 17%, expressed interest in investing in non-traditional products such as crypto assets. So unfortunately, a lot of youth, they may not know enough. So sometimes when they do look at how they can invest wisely, they may perhaps go online, look at different sources. That is good because nowadays the youth are very familiar with the digital landscape and how to get news and information online. But is it from the right source? Is it from a legitimate source? This is something that they could perhaps be more aware of.
Shannon, what does financial literacy mean to you? Take away from it, how is your experience in that particular area?
I think personally for me, financial literacy is about having that knowledge to save, to spend, and to invest. So saving up for your future, is there enough money for retirement? Will I be able to save up so that I can get financial freedom? Yeah. So actually, personally for me, I do know of this budgeting method, which goes 50% you spend on your needs, 30% you spend on your wants, and 20% you spend on your goals.
Or your Cikgu taught you well.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Gabriel, what about you? What do you think of financial literacy?
I think for us, financial literacy actually means how you're able to save, how you're able to spend, invest, or actually even avoiding scams. I think that is also part of financial literacy. So I think those are the main points, is how we are able to get a hold of how are we able to control our finances. So if we are able to control it and actually save it, so our future self will actually be stop stressing about it.
Well, speaking of financial literacy and investment, well, the youth. To what extent the youth of today understand investment, investing, and what do they do if they don't or they do invest?
Yeah, I think for me, I didn't really start, but I do have that knowledge of investing as a whole.
Gabriel?
I think that's really a great point. I think quite a lot of youth, our generation, are also starting to invest, starting early, having a head start. Because as you said, there's a rising cost of living. Same time, you also have inflation. Youth point of view, we start investing early as well because we actually see the need of gaining early financial freedom so that we are able to, I guess, stress lesser in the future and to be able to be like ahead around game.
I suppose this comes back to your point earlier in terms of your study, at least the preliminary result of the study in terms of what is perception of investment and investment strategy among the youth that you survey.
Yeah. So a high percentage of youth from our index study shows that they are interested in investing, right? They do want to invest. However, only about half check whether the provider of those investment platform or channels are legitimate, which is quite concerning.
Yes, it is.
Because they may be looking at interesting websites online, or be told about this platform that looks quite real, but they don't know how to check. They don't know whether this is the platform that they can trust. And it is about maybe even putting real money into the platform, right? And it's a sizable amount of money because they want to invest. So what sort of assurance or what sort of ways can they then further be assured that such platform can indeed deliver?
Yeah.
So I think that is something that the youth should watch out for.
I suppose since we're talking about investment platform, which we have many, we'll come back to one that CGSI has set up. We have a lot of opportunities out there. I think the interesting thing about from CGSI is able to now offer fractional trading, which is obviously very appealing when you have only a little bit of sum to do bite-sized investment. Yes, you have the US market, where it's extremely liquid and very convenient for you to do fractional trading and buying or selling of, say, the Magnificent Seven. But here in Asia, I think we've done one with Bursa, the KL Stock Exchange. They have also pushed further down to encourage more people in terms of being able to trade, in little bits, and you can do so through apps.
Uncle Song, you just said that. I think I recently also saw a newsletter stating regarding about the Bursa Malaysia fractional shares. I think that is a really good starting point for you, because with buying stocks, some stocks may actually be quite expensive. And being able to buy fractional shares, I think that gives youth a good head start and a good starting point to actually step into investing.
What we have seen, I think, quite interestingly, is a lot more people looking at regional in terms of whether the trade tension leads to countries working closer together to help boost consumption in the rest of the world. And here in Asia being, I suppose, faster growing region, you have wealthier family, as higher disposable income. We have seen clearly Bursa Malaysia benefiting from that shift over the last couple of years. They have done quite well. So I think this is where the opportunity of fractional trading in a market that is still looking quite exciting. I suppose again it comes down to the point of, for investors, really is you don't have to buy a share. You can really buy, bits of a share, especially among the youth. Let's say you are still a student, you are able, from as little as you want, being able to. So whether you're a student, whether you're starting out working. So today, I think combined with what's available in terms of research that are available, very importantly, for free, and then coupled with your own homework, you are investing in the same time zone. You can go to sleep, can wake up, and the market will not run away from the very important, unless you're a night owl and you still believe in you are a night trader, that can happen as well. Cikgu here say, to what extent the youth translate their aspiration into action.
Correct.
And obviously action requires a lot of homework.
And Uncle Song, you are so correct, because the same time zone consideration is a good consideration, because I definitely don't want my student to come to class feeling very tired, right? So if you trade in US, sometimes you have to monitor the market, you stay up late nights, and the next day you still have to come to school. So I think the access to Bursa Malaysia fractional share also allow a lot of the youth to have the comfort level to assess the market at the right time, also at the right amount. So hopefully that helps them to kickstart their investing journey, right? And it's very critical then for youth to then take action.
Yes.
Right? And be comfortable with, qualified and secured type of trading platform that allows them to safely venture and build their experience and of course their wealth.
One topic we want to talk also, it really is about promoting the 2025 ASEAN Investment Challenge, or the AIC, organized by CGSI for students in Singapore. It's more than a competition, it's really a learning journey in terms of someone who may not be familiar with investment. You can take through the various modules over there and learn along the way, which I think is very important as a introduction to financial literacy.
So I think CGSI provided us with a solid foundation of different modules that we are able to take, first from financial literacy to how we are able to analyze the market. I think that really gives us the confidence to actually start exploring into what the ASEAN Investment Challenge actually brought about.
Speaking of which, this year, new competition coming through. This is the website you should be logging on to and joining. Very exciting because you combine that investment challenge, fractional trading opportunity that comes along as well. So it could be a very interesting sort of a competition in terms of how it will be unfolding. If you were to advise someone to do this because you have gone through it, what are the steps you would say you should do, or recommended steps you should take now that you have gone through, and perhaps telling someone how to do it in a competition setting like this?
For the ASEAN Investment Challenge, it's set up in a way that we are all learning at the same pace. There are different modules that you can take at your own time, which I think is a very interesting concept, because a lot of competition sort of like pressures you, oh, by this deadline you have to finish this. But CGSI set up in a way that they encourage you to do, they motivate you so that you actually start to understand. The main objective is there, but you are able to sort of fine-tune your own timing to grasp when you actually want to do your learning.
Just want to add on Gabriel's part, because I've actually tried this AIC challenge before, and I think this challenge really provides a solid foundation of what having like investing is like. Like as you mentioned, there are 3 modules, so I think each module really gives a good foundation of like the topics that it has like a good coverage, I would say, and it really helps me to understand as someone with no financial knowledge.
I think AIC provides that platform, the ASEAN Investment Challenge, every year, and we are very fortunate to be able to partner with CGSI on this platform to provide that training. And there's a lot of e-learning. I think both, Shannon and as well as Gabriel, you went through those e-learning modules. They help equip you with the knowledge and also the tools that you can use to jumpstart your investment journey. Now, it's a simulated platform where a lot of participants can safely try their hand at how to invest, where to invest, what type of stocks you want to invest in, while following, from all the e-learning content, the strategy behind investing. So I think it is good to note that a lot of the content are created by real traders, right? And also is from a qualified source.
When RP actually sent out this Outlook email on like the ASEAN Investment Challenge, and then me and my friends just started talking about it, and we're like, simulated platform, you learn something throughout the process, and like there's basically nothing to lose, right? I mean, so I guess it's a fun experience to go on, and we just sort of ask around, wanna go, okay, sign up, let's go. Because we heard that a bit FOMO lah, fear of missing out lah. Everyone talking about investing, and then we're like sitting there just like still staring at our laptop, studying anatomy, and then like, wow, a new field, discipline, want to explore, okay, let's go. There's nothing to lose anyway, just went for it.
And again, I thought that is quite important, because I think all you should carry that correct mindset that you should only be prepared to invest as much as you're willing to and able to lose, right? So that's the starting point. But on AIC side, I also feel that there is a lot of opportunity for youth to gain, because not just due to the attractive prize money, it's also the experience to work together. So you are not in that alone, you are not in the competition alone, you have a chance to work with teammates, right? And forge that friendship of learning together, explore the greater possibilities of how you can jumpstart the journey, right? And that as a platform is very suitable and very welcoming So that's something that I thought is notable.
Shannon, you want to share your experience in terms of how you got started and what you get out from it?
So for this AIC challenge, so I actually asked my friend if she wanted to join, and she just gladly said like, okay, we can just pair up and join together because we both don't really have that financial literacy knowledge. So we wanted to join just to gain the exposure, the experience.
For us, we took around 3 to 4 months to sort of understood because it's quite a big piece to digest, right? So I guess we also took the bite-sized technique and we broke it down to smaller pieces. Then when I was going through some of the modules, I was like, oh wait, I learned this in Principle of Accounts back in O-level.
Yes.
So that sort of triggered back, and it was so I had to share some things that I have learned in POA with my friends. With the modules being there, you're navigating through a forest, and suddenly the competition sort of comes in, and then you're climbing up the mountain, and then the wilderness is there. But when everything sort of settled down, and you look back at the journey, or perhaps continue my analogy, the hike that you have taken, you realize that the view that you have walked past is actually spectacular. It's, I guess, the friendship that you have fostered along the way, the communication, the places that you have learned that, oh, that may be a bad move. I guess that is what made our AIC journey shine for my team at least.
We'll come to the end of another episode of Kopi with Uncle Song and Friends. This time we were talking about financial literacy in terms of how youth especially must be empowered to get excited about investment. Not gambling, with a very principled approach to have, a steady kick for you to sort of have a good holiday every now and then, or be able to splash out for some fancy product that you are able and want to buy. But end of the day, it's really about having the knowledge through early learning in terms of investment. And one of the platforms from which you can get some sort of learning and experience from among the many out there, and you're talking about many investment platform out there, is a CGSI and its application, from where today you'll be able to not just trade US shares, US fractional shares, you can also trade closer to home Bursa shares, fractional Bursa shares, as well as SGX shares. So on that note, I want to thank my guests, my kaki, my kawan for today. You have Chris, the cikgu here, Shannon, and Gabriel. For today's episode, Kopi with Uncle Song and Friends. That's all from all of us here at Republic Polytechnic. Boleh!